welcome Mike.
Thank you, Brett. Just saying. About 17 years ago, give or take a week or a month, maybe a couple months even, my life had a significant change. I tracked this back, and I know that it's 17 years because my oldest daughter, 17 years old, senior in high school, her younger sister selling chocolate bars over here for $1 a piece. Just saying. But I got LASIK surgery on my eyes. And I don't know how many people have worn glasses, but I got glasses when I was in second grade. Oh, the joy of being the four eyes, the kid who can't see the board, but you do what you can. In third grade, I got hit by a car. Got hit by a car pretty hard, actually knocked me out, and I was unconscious for more than a day. And the neat thing about that was my glasses went from being that thick to being about 3 times as thick. And as time goes on, it's like things can affect you. You become used to seeing things in a blurry world. It's like you wake up in the morning, you grab your glasses so that you can get up and go do whatever. And I wore contacts, so that was okay. But when I was just had become a father, I decided to take the plunge and do the LASIK surgery, which was one of those things. And the neat thing about it was that you walked in, they did the procedure, and you walked out, and you could see. Next day I woke up and I laid in bed and I was counting the Venetian blinds because I could. Just one of those life-changing things. But the interesting thing about this was that while I was there, as I was doing the follow-up checkup, I happened to bump into a guy who really is almost as part of the reason why I'm here today. Harvey McKay was there doing some kind of an eye surgery as well. And Harvey McKay, anyone who knows who he is, he's a businessman in St. Paul, ran his envelope company. He also wrote a book called Swim with the Sharks Without Getting Eaten Alive and how to do all these things with your career. But he's just an energetic, neat guy. And in his book, Swim with the Sharks, which I got a hard copy, emailed it to me, he talks about Toastmasters. And he said that if you don't get your money's worth out of Toastmasters, you send me a letter and I will refund you the dues. And when I got out of college, I mean, this whole story is about how little things change your life. I happened to have got his book, and I read it, and I was in the mood of trying to become a politician or become something where you get up and do a lot of public speaking. I just didn't have a chance or the funds to go and take the Dale Carnegie courses, and I stumbled across Toastmasters. And so I had joined it, and I had read his book, and I knew that I would get my money back. I didn't get out of it what I expected. Well, it's hard to say just how much you get back out of those little things. I joined Realtor Toastmasters right out of college. I went through the manual. The first manual, got my CTM within a year, like 9 or 10 months. I was just grabbing about the manuals. I did 5 or 6 of the advanced manuals, did the paperwork. But so I've done all the ATM stuff. I've done several of the other things. And I took that passion for getting up and doing the speaking and taking what Toastmasters gave me and applying it to my life. And it actually flowed into other types of roles and other types of jobs that I've done. But it's little things that change your life, little things that come back. My grandparents, my middle name is Walls. My grandparents' last name is Walls. So my mom named that to be my middle name. Kind of a cool thing. But my grandma Wallace always had a saying. She always said, don't sweat the small stuff. And remember, everything is small stuff. And you look at that book that we do where you've got those little pithy sayings, it's all coming back to those little things. What is it in life that we need to be paying attention to? How does that fit into everything else? Of course, my grandpa Wallace, my grandfather, he also had his secret, his speech story. He said, the secret to marriage. He said, when we first got married, we decided there were big decisions and little decisions. I would take care of all the big decisions, and my wife would take care of all the little decisions. I said, well, how does that work out for you? He said, well, if there's a big decision, your grandmother will tell me. But it's coming back to those little things. How did you happen to get to where you are? How did I happen to have a 17-year-old daughter? How did I end up meeting my wife even? And if you go back even further, you go back to college, when I got the book from Harvey K, I was also just happened to be raining that day, and I was walking through campus. I was walking indoors because it was kind of raining outside. I happened to be going down the hall, and I bumped into my accounting teacher, who was at the U, and it was kind of one of those things where it's like you're walking inside instead of outside, and she was talking to this beautiful woman who was, long red hair. I was just kind of noticed as I walked by, but the teacher reached over and was like, we're going to tell this girl about my class and how great it is. So I ended up talking to the woman that ended up becoming my wife. And the interesting thing about her was she never did take that class. In fact, she went a completely different path on teacher. She wouldn't have been there at all, but it was just one of those little things where you have a cross, where things happen. And in life, we go through, we've got all of these opportunities. There's big opportunities, there's little opportunities, there's big decisions, there's little decisions. But if you live the kind of life that takes advantage of opportunities that comes along, I think you can find those little things are going to have a lot of variety, a lot of joy, and a lot of happiness. And I encourage you, as you go through this, look at those things that are just, oh, I happen to do this or I happen to do that. And look down the road. James Blick wrote a book called Chaos. And in the Chaos book, this was back in the 80s, he was talking about the effect of like a moth in Africa could cause a cataclysm in Chicago somehow by all of the different things that are intimately connected yet loosely connected. And it's interesting to see how that has played out in my life and those around me. So when you look today